Hey everyone, I'm going to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is set to release onto the Nintendo Switch on July 29th. And today we're going to be checking out something really interesting, and that's the fact that Nintendo went ahead and dropped about a minute's half worth of brand new combat / battle gameplay, pretty much showcasing us how the gameplay and the combat is going to be intertwined as these brand new characters basically make their way out into the world of this expansive Xenoblade Chronicles 3 universe. This comes to us directly from their brand new blog post where they basically break down the combat encounters. They've basically put out 2 blog posts already. The first one was pretty much telling us a little bit about each one of the characters, why it is that they are fighting, why it is that they are part of this world. And this blog update was pretty much to detail the combat scenarios and the combat encounters. Now, everything in the blog post itself is in Japanese. I'm not going to try to translate it. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I really don't want to go through that whole process right now. So I thought it was just a better idea to go ahead and showcase some of the gameplay itself, because I think it speaks better to showcase the gameplay itself than actually try to break it all down, since newcomers won't really be able to understand it. And I think a lot of Xenoblade Chronicle old heads will be able to understand it better by just looking at it. And I think newcomers are most likely just going to be able to pick it up or just kind of give up on it. That's just kind of been the way this game kind of handles the combat. Either you get it or you don't, and that's why we kind of have a little bit of a big divide whether this game is really good or not, or this series in general has been really good or not. So you guys should have been seeing some of the gameplay already. Is looking pretty expansive, as the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 already did. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2's maps were way bigger than anything we had on Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And of course, while a lot of people love to complain about the resolution in handheld mode, tablet mode if you will, at the end of the day the game looked gorgeous, you know, if you played it in dock mode. And the resolution was a sticking point to some, but at the end of the day, you don't play graphics, you play gameplay, and at the end of the day that is trumping anything above, you know, resolution numbers. And this game certainly looks to be running at a higher resolution at the end of the day. Now, we do see a couple of combat scenarios with some of the HUD being displayed and other parts the HUD is not being displayed. There's a bunch of little short gameplay clips, and the reason for that is because in the blog they like to go over not only how characters themselves fight, but also what kind of like new different features you're going to be able to have. And again, because everything is in Japanese and the HUD is really kind of like small, even in the video itself, I'm not really going to try to translate all of it. But you do get to see a couple of brand new skills being showcased. You do get to see how things are revived. You get to see how you're able to change characters in the same way that you could in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The way you interact with the world itself based on each one of the characters. That's also some things that they showcase in one of the clips as well. And at the end of the day, they just kind of showcase just a little bit of how each one of the characters interacts when it comes to combat, how each one of them plays a specific role. They're not tied to a specific class or anything along those lines like a traditional JRPG, but because they each one have a redefined role to be able to play in combat, you just kind of already know this one is going to be the tank, this one's going to pull in the aggro, the other one is going to pull in like the support, the heals, etc. You do have 6 characters in combat at the end of the day, which is something a little bit ridiculous, to be quite honest with you. You know, you have so many characters on screen fighting at the same time with just crazy effects going on, you know, at the entire time. So it is interesting how they're going to choose to kind of balance all of that together. And on top of that, you do have the support characters as well, which you do see a little bit of here in the clip as well. So not only are you going to have your 6 main characters, which each one can merge with each other. It seems to be, they don't showcase that in this specific gameplay clips, but you also have support characters as well that can show up. So you can end up having a 7th or maybe even an 8th character in supportive roles, essentially, kind of like rounding out the team. So you're going to be pretty much set up for victory if you actually kind of, you know, wrap your head around the entire UI and how all that's going to work. But that's about all the information that I wanted to go over today. I love that these putting up these blog posts and providing us with brand new information. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out for yourselves. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.